Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you game 1 now in a series between Russia's DS versus Apollo's AK here on Neo Planet S. Game 1 in a 2-game set, and wow, why do I all of a sudden feel so much better? The last game I cast, if you guys didn't watch it, I think my analysis was pretty spot on. And I guess I'm getting over my cold a little bit, but that was the previous game. If you guys didn't catch that game, a TVP Rex versus Apollo's Ball, go ahead and check that out. Some of my better analysis and commentary. But let's move on to game 1 in this series. It is going to be a PVZ, and I am expecting, what is this? A Forge, not a Forge Fast expansion, a Mothership Core expansion here from Rush. Now, on the front door, we see something that we haven't seen in quite some time. This actually reminds me of the Wings of Liberty days, when players built a pylon here, built a gateway, built a cybernetics core, had one lone zealot be able to fend off, and I think with the Mothership Core expansion, this actually makes a lot of sense. You're able to wall off pretty effectively, just in case your opponent is trying to do any sort of early Zergling rush. And then you can get your gateway and also get your Mothership Core out rather quickly as well. We can see that it is going to be a spawning pool first coming in from AK, but until an extractor is placed down, there is really no sign that AK is trying to be aggressive. The probe just still dancing around here, and we are waiting to see how AK decides to determine the course of this game, and it looks like it will in fact be a hatchery here, and he is just trying to shoo the probe away just enough. Now with that, we can see that DS is actually being extremely aggressive with this Nexus. This is not what I was expecting at all, and with a Nexus first, I wouldn't be surprised if we actually saw a Forge now. Now, there is a gateway. A probe is hiding in the back there, making it look like he's trying to do a Forge, a cannon rush. And it looks like, if you take a look, AK may have spotted that probe and could be thinking to himself, okay, he's going to be rushing, only to realize that there is, in fact, a gateway on the front door. This all looks rather odd to me, as we are going to be getting a pair of Zerglings out. So yes, I guess 2 eggs, and now 4 Zerglings are making their way out onto the field. We may in fact need to see a gateway, a cybernetics core, and this may be a bad sign for Rush. These Zerglings could cause a lot of problems here, disrupt a lot of mining, or even force this Nexus to be rebuilt. The cybernetics core is going to be coming in, and the Zerglings are just going to make their way inside without any real presence. The Zerglings are just going to be able to come in here and perhaps get some easy kills onto these probes. You can see that the probes are trying to run back here. Are the Zerglings going to get off some easy shots? A Zealot has joined in on this fight, but the Zerglings here are going to cause a little bit of lost mining time. Even if a probe does not fall here, the lost mining time in microing these probes is a bit of a problem. Now this Zealot also has to be very, very careful. Its shields do regenerate, but the Zerglings also have regeneration on all of their hit points, so they are just running laps here, trying to get in. And will they get a quick kill? It looks like 2 workers have been killed already, as the Zerglings could get more kills here. Let's see, already up to 2 worker kills. What is going to be happening here? The Mothership Core is finally out, and AK, takes a wide turn only to get shot down by the Mothership Core there. And now Rush is looking fairly strong, sitting at 24 probes. He does have that Nexus, minimized any serious damage, and is looking pretty good now. Now, what is AK's follow-up going to be? AK placing down some spine crawlers, has some queens. Queens are no longer in production. Instead, we are going into 8 more Zerglings, and we are currently sitting on double gas inside the main base. I don't know what he's spending his gas on just quite yet. Metabolic boost nowhere near completed, or nowhere even started, as we don't have 100 gas just quite yet. A Stalker does get off a free Overlord there. A little bit of misplay once again by AK. And AK, even though he is ahead in the supply count, Rush has been doing a pretty good job of making sure that his mistakes have not have not really led to any serious losses. Taking a look at Rush now going into a forge. You can see the gateway now coming into play. Gate currently going into warp gate tech. And with this, we should be seeing a third base being placed down by AK any moment. Poor probe will get killed before he's able to scout out this bottom side here. DS still doesn't know if this expansion has been taken. And I am very surprised that AK hasn't taken this 6 o'clock expansion. When a Protoss player does go for a quick second, it is not uncommon for a Zerg player to go for a quick third before the 6-minute mark. We are now at the 8-minute mark and still without an additional base. So AK is going to be aggressive here at tier 2 and hoping to get in a lot of damage. You can see that there is a photon cannon, zealot, mothership core is going to have enough for a time warp and a photon overcharge by the time hydralisks are out onto the field. And I can't imagine this fight going well at all. You can see that there's a stalker on patrol wanting to make sure that no Nidus networks come into play, as the overseer now tries to do a quick flyby and figure out what is happening inside of this base. There it goes. You can take a look. Sentries are in position as well. Immortals now coming out, and the Immortal is going to scream, yes, train more Hydralisks. All right, Hydralisks will be trained perhaps, but now we also see a robotics bay, and this is a smart move by AK. If AK saw the robotics facility, saw the Immortal, and goes, you know what, I'm going to train the counter to the counter. Normally, Hydralisks counter Immortals, but he's thinking, you know what, if I mass up too many Hydralisks, I need to make sure I have Corruptors to deal with Colossi, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. He's getting Hydralisks, but also already starting that Spire. We still finally have a third base being placed down by AK in a rather unusual location here at the 9 o'clock. This isn't your typical natural expansion for a Zerg, but it is all on the far left side, and you don't really have to keep track of an additional walkway except for this location on the top left-hand side of the map. Placing an Overlord here would be key to make sure no proxy pylons and zealots are able to run inside and try and take down all of these drones. Now, we can see that Rush is thinking to himself, you know what? I need to take down this 6 o'clock expansion. Little does he know that there is nothing at this expansion location, a complete mind fake. And Rush is now wondering, what? The expansion's over here at the 9? Tricky. AK with the superior army. You can see that Hydralisks are here. Hydralisks do have the groove spines. I do not believe they have the muscular augments, as we are going to be looking at the Zerglings. Are we going to see an engagement here? A beautiful recall to head back home, as we are going to see Zerglings now try to run in here and take down perhaps a couple of photon cannons before they complete. It looks like one photon cannon could get taken down. No, canceled just in time. A new photon cannon now coming in. More Zerglings now coming in across, as AK has about a 25 supply advantage. In comes Hydralisks. They are slithering their way. They are extremely slow, as we are now going into Mass Mutalisks. Okay, Mass Mutalisks, the counter, and this is rather surprising here, as the Hydralisks do have the groove spines and should be able to shoot past her. Oh, a beautiful force field catches a whole bunch of Hydralisks and Zerglings on the wrong side. Hydralisks now trying to stick around for another fight. A beautiful time warp, and Rush choosing the right engagement and the right use of energy comes out beautifully ahead here. 3,000 resources lost versus 737. Beautiful micro, beautiful casting, as we now see the Mutalisks may come in and get in a nice round of shots here. All right, the Colossus will get taken down. That will even things up just a little, as DS now forced to place down more photon cannons to deal with potential Mutalisk harassment. Here comes the Mutalisk. Mutalisk finding a whole bunch of probes. The probes are going to get just completely swatted down by that glaive worm, and photon cannons will get taken down as well. Hard to see some of these units being warped in on this snowy field, as Zerglings now going to be making their way off to the north. Colossi, Stalkers, Sentries, Zealots, Colossus now just trying to perhaps poke their head here at the 9 o'clock position, fighting in your non-typical location, and DS kind of getting caught in a weird situation. He wants to engage, but because of the high mobility of these Mutalisks and the amount of creep on the map, he also knows that if he goes past this line here, he could get flanked rather quickly. Banelings and Mutalisks still being added. DS only sitting on 1. Colossus so far not very much in danger of taking down a massive ground army, but we can see that all of these spine crawlers perhaps need to be transfused. A Zergling army now waiting in the wake, or I guess off to the side here, and we could see this flank that I was talking about if DS overcommits and doesn't have sight. There is an observer off over here. Stalkers now coming into position, and in come the Stalkers here. Mutalisks now looking to back away. Overseer does not have the pneumatized carapace. Here's the engagement. The Zerglings going in the wrong direction. Okay, here's the attack now. What is going to happen? Cut off from all reinforcements. No mothership for the recall. And here you go. There is that flank that I was talking about. Colossus gets taken down in a matter of seconds. Guardian Shield. Beautiful force fields, though, limiting the amount of surface area, but the Mutalisks are still in position. Guardian Shield, Mutalisks making sure to focus down the sentries first, and now the hatchery looks like it is trying to get focused down, but the Immortals perhaps should perhaps be going after some of the drones here. DS handles that flank nicely with a round of force field. Zerglings unable to engage, and DS attacking that location with a surgical strike, knows it is time to back off. He does not want to overstay his welcome, as some Zerglings now perhaps going after those. No, what are they doing? All right, even professional players make mistakes, as those Zerglings were taken down. All right, trying to do a little bit of a counterattack there, but AK not getting that many kills off. And this has really just been DS showing that his micro and decision-making in battle very strong and able to take down a couple of key units. Each time we've seen a battle and each time we've seen a fight unfold, AK looked like he had superior positioning, but DS, Time Warp, Force Fields, really coming out ahead in each of those engagements. One photon cannon will get taken down. Are we going to perhaps see some more getting taken down in the back here? Overseer wants to keep track of any observers, and we are still sitting on 3 bases to 3. AK cannot allow this base to fall and try to stay even on bases. He's instead going for a ninja expansion on the bottom right, while DS, if he scouts that out, will be able to take it out very, very easily. Stalkers now pulling back here. You can see a good number of Stalkers, Immortals, Sentries, 1 Colossus, some Zealots in that mix, and it looks like it's going to turn into a little bit of a trade. 22 Mutalisks on the field, but there is a good number of Stalkers, and now Blink is being researched as well. I believe DS is starting to get to the point where he should be able to trade extremely well against AK's army, and then just come out with a 30 to 40 supply advantage, and then continue to stretch that advantage further. Sentries getting picked off very quickly, but it's important to note how strong this Guardian Shield is for the Protoss. It reduces the amount of damage from the Mutalisks pretty significantly, as the Glaive Worm bounce is also reduced as well. DS, though, very, very far behind enemy lines. Only 1 Colossus here. This is not good. The Mothership Core cannot get over there to try and recall all of these units. Some beautiful force fields, but we are low on energy, and the Banelings are going to find their target here. Stalkers are going to engage, and this is now the battle that DS didn't want to fight. AK coming in with just superior Mutalisk counts, comes in with the flank, and DS unable to get down the necessary force fields to survive that battle, as the losses are now starting to even out a bit. DS still with about a 4,000 resource advantage, and now a 7 supply advantage, as we are looking at a handful of drones mining over here at the bottom right. Meanwhile, Mutalisks are now making their way forward. No Guardian Shield. The Mutalisks do have superior regeneration. The Stalkers are now all backing off again. They have 1-1 upgrades. as the Zerglings and the Mutalisks look to peel back once more. I don't quite see what is happening here. There's an Overlord. Poor probe will get taken down, caught at the wrong side of the map at the wrong time. Zerglings are upgraded with 2-0, but there isn't enough armor upgrades, especially as we see more and more Stalkers with higher upgrades. The Stalker with 2-0 or 2-1 upgrades against the Mutalisks with 0 armor. The Stalkers are really coming out ahead, and all Rush needs to do is just place down one Guardian Shield to mitigate the Mutalisk upgrade advantage. Alright, DS is still coming back into this, or still in this. You can see that he has about a 20 supply advantage. And some would actually say that he is in the lead since he does have less losses, but the Mutalisks have still yet to go unanswered, as the Mutalisks are still flying around looking to get in a bit more shots. Overseer still without the pneumatized carapace, moving a bit slow, and with that I am surprised. Why would you even get so many Overseers if you don't have the movement speed upgrade to at least try and keep up with the rest of your Mutalisk army? Alright, yeah, I was gonna say AK pulling off all of his drones for no apparent reason, just a suicide. Harvester count is 47 to 67. This is 2 bases to 2, and DS is still in the lead tremendously. As long as he doesn't overcommit to any fight, he should be fine. Stalker's gonna find the hatchery here, and AK is in trouble. He needs to get up another base, has not been able to do so at all, and now we're going to see Zerglings trying to push their way through on the front door. In comes the Mutalisk. Archon quickly going to get taken down, and AK coming in with a massive army here, taking down everything you see in just a matter of seconds. This is that Mutalisk army that I was talking about. So difficult to predict. Mothership Core now making its way over, and the Mothership Core has been taken down. Mutalisk looking to just absorb the damage, wanting to really finish off the Mothership Core. I don't quite agree with this. There's many better targets with much lower hit points. You can see that the Mutalisks are now simply flying around. Where are they going to be traveling? They could be trying to hit this base here. More Stalkers coming in from DS. Stalkers now perhaps going to be able to blink back down onto the low ground and get into the main base here. There are a couple of photon cannons, but the Mutalisks could have easily handled them. Not quite sure what's going on at all, as the Zerglings are now picking off pylons in midfield. This bottom right ninja expansion, the only thing that's keeping AK in this game, as he is currently down by 40 supply. Taking a look at the army, DS has the larger army supply and the larger worker supply, but AK has just been firing away, so to speak, making DS constantly travel as opposed to engaging. If you are moving and not attacking, then obviously your army's DPS is much lower. You can take a look here. The Mutalisks are looking to fly back in once more, and DS is just absolutely dumbfounded at where the army could possibly be. You can see DS now down to 178 over 164. Mutalisks now looking to finish off more targets. There's some Stalkers here. Mutalisks going after the Archon. Archon will get taken down rather quickly. A second Archon going to get taken down quickly, as the Mutalisks going after all of those Stalkers. It is now looking to become a little bit of a base race, and the Mutalisk army is rather fast and also regenerates hit points. With this, are they perhaps going to be able to take down that last base over here? All we need is more photon cannons, and it will be very difficult to take down. DS now down to 144. You can see that the Mutalisks are just going to town across all of these probes. Army supply 105 to 83. And now we could be looking at perhaps massive spine crawlers at this bottom right-hand side of the map. That is all that is pretty much left. We do see a layer here. Layer perhaps needing to get in more of a spire in play. Both sides losing a lot of units. This is a base race in every sense of the term, and it looks as though photon cannon after photon cannon is falling. Okay, this is not looking good whatsoever. Zerglings are pretty much unchallenged inside the main base right now. Stalkers now looking to perhaps clean up. Extractors down over here. That is another building that you will need to try and spot and take down. Stalkers now coming in. You can see, oh, I believe that was a recall. Beautiful use of recall to get back home. And in order to push back a bit more pressure, oh, the Mothership Core could get taken down. Are we going to perhaps see some more units? And the Mutalists here really abusing the fact that they can go in between the main base and the third very, very quickly. Base after base is getting taken down. No mining, and Rush is now exposed. Zealots now coming over here to the bottom right-hand side of the map. No Queen, nothing here at all, as the Mutalists are finishing off perhaps the rest of all of these buildings. Down they go, but there is Zealots here, and this was the problem. AK not getting a single spine crawler into this bottom right-hand side of the map. Mutalists still wandering around here, perhaps. Oh, are they going to be able to take down this Colossus? If they found the Colossus, that would have been a huge, huge loss there, as the Stalkers look to finish off this hatchery here. That hatchery will fall, but AK already with another hatchery at the 6 o'clock location, and this is looking into a DS loss, as AK utilizing these Heart of the Swarm Mutalists to their fullest potential. I would never have said this in Wings of Liberty, but Mutalists extremely useful in a base race since they regenerate their hit points so fast. Coming across, you can see that there are Zealots attempting to take down this layer off over here. Army 61 versus 69. The Mutalists have 2-0 upgrades and now rebuilding their Spire. But we also needed to see a bit more gas. Enough gas for 5 more Mutalists. Plenty of supply. Zerglings having field days and able to just pick apart these pylons without any sort of Zealots to try and stop them. Alright, Stalkers staying together here. Units, there is no more probes whatsoever, or what, not probes. No more probes on the map. DS has 0 chance of rebuilding anything at all. And what you see is now what you get. AK sitting at 97 supply. This one drone, not gonna live to see the light of day. Nope, it looks as though the drone's still allowed to do its magic here, as the Mutalists are still flying around the map. 2 drones, with no reason to be in the Protoss base, but still looking to enjoy themselves, I guess. As we're seeing gas now being harvested at the other side. DS now down to 1 pylon. You can see, oh, this could actually be a bad engagement here. If the Stalkers try and engage, there are a whole bunch of Broodlings. Broodlings gonna go after and deal a little bit of damage. The units are now all backed off again, as Rush still has, oh no, he does know about this expansion down here at the 6 o'clock location. Is he going to go ahead and take it down, as the Zerglings and the Mutalists are still going back and forth? Alright, Zerglings now unanswered inside the 12 o'clock base here. The last of the buildings are all that is left. The Stalkers chasing after Mutalists, and he knows that if the Stalkers try and go back home to try and pick up all of these Zerglings, there are going to be a whole bunch of other slower units, such as this Mothership Core, which will not get there in time. The Mutalists still backing away, and with this, I believe the point of no return has been reached. Zergling's going to finish off a pylon, and that will pretty much be the end of anything that Rush can try and make. 67 supply army slowly getting whittled away. Mutalists now making their way forward. Oh, this could be huge. Those Stalkers have not gotten there in time at all. All we have left are a couple of buildings, and it looks as though, oh, Time Warp has come in, but the Mutalists just gonna focus down the rest of these buildings here. Last assimilator standing, and that will be the game. There you go. Rush was defeated, and AK taking the game, sniping this game here with a base trade on Neoplanet S. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed this game.